Interesting question I got asked. Did Babyface write better songs outside of Laface Records? Because Laface Records was his joint venture with L.A. Reid on Arista Distribution. So how was his career outside writing? Well, the interesting thing is uh, the Boomerang soundtrack was out and End of the Road was on it. So that was one of his biggest songs ever. In fact, that was his biggest song ever. That was on the Face Records. Obviously co-writing with L.A. Reid and with Daryl Simmons on Rock Steady, and they hit with other things. But uh End of the Road was huge. That was LaFace. That was the first imprint on the LaFace. That was the soundtrack. Damien Dane was the first one, but the soundtrack, and that was huge. So then I got to figure in the Tony Braxton stuff. Now, obviously, work with Bobby Brown, so it's like if I pick sides, Tevin Campbell was on Warner's, but and then of course the Wait and Exhale soundtrack. But the Boomerang was big. The two TLC albums, which were on the Face Records, the Tony Braxton two records on there. So he didn't have any say with anything to do with the Outcast records on there and some other projects. But it's a pretty good argument. Yes, they had big hits for other acts. He wrote for a lot of acts. But he had big hits on the Face records. Sometimes when these artists get their own label and then it doesn't quite traject or project like that. Well, this one, he did pretty good. Babyface was one of the most happening singer songwriters from the late '80s to the '90s, and he was able to bring that to the label and actually make that thing hit. So, he's a rarity that when he had a label that he had semblance of big time success, because you could make the case. I mean, Crazy Sexy Cool, which came out uh, 31 years ago, was big on LaFace Records, and they wrote, had big songs on it. And of course, they debuted on the TLC tip, big songs on there. So, then Tony Braxton, I mean, he hit. So you can make the case, big albums, big songs, because LaFace Records did have big time success. They weren't just your typical boutique label. They actually had some pretty big bangers on this. So his writing was big on both. Actually, but now his solo albums were on Sony, so we can't really tabulate that. And again, his second album was his most commercially successful, Tender Lover. So, but the LaFace Records imprint and what he on the label with everything involved had some big successes. So that's a pretty good argument, good question. I mean, obviously, he done the bulk, but then he had hits. He had hits. So it's pretty. It's actually it's not one of them things that you can't. I still say he kind of uh, the non LaFace Records hits he wrote were bigger, and of course if we factor in his solo career. But it's not like a ginormous beatdown when, especially when you consider how big End of the Road was. That was huge. That changed Boyz II Men's fate, and that was on the Boomerang soundtrack. And he had so that was a big song. So there were some big moments uh, on the LaFace Records imprint. So tell me what you come down on. Did you think Babyface wrote his biggest songs non-LaFace Records, or do you think he wrote his biggest ones on LaFace Records? Tell me what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share that video if you like, and hit that membership, because when you do, requests like this come true. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.